Okay, so hello. Happy Monday or Tuesday, depending on whatever day this video ends up going up on the internets. I am not sure when I will edit it because I tend to film things and then let them sit for a while because I like to read in my free time. If only I could just get I just love reading. I love it so much. Anyway, what we're doing today is the final part of my little SAIE Beauty series. So last week I posted about the concealer. That is a new launch. I did a little demo and review of that for you guys. I then reviewed and swatched all of the dew blushes, which is my favorite product from SAIE Beauty because it's blush. I mean, like, it's my favorite product from most lines. And I wanted to have all those swatched, you know, out there for you in case you were interested in the shades. And today I'm just going to be talking about the entire line in general. So we're gonna go over every product that SAIE Beauty offers except for, they have like a lip gloss in like a tube or something. I'm not exactly sure what that product is. I don't have it, I've never picked that up, but I do have everything else. They've got like two different kinds of lip products. They have that one in the tube, which I'm not sure if it's more like a chapstick or if it's more like a lip gloss, I don't know, but then they have actual lip gloss in like a tube with a doe foot applicator. So I don't have that other lip product. I probably wouldn't like it anyway. I tend to not like lip products like that. But I do have the other lip product, but I've got everything else. I've got all the base products, I've got all the face products, I've got everything, okay? So what we're gonna do is, since I am sans makeup, we're gonna put some makeup on. I'm gonna go over each product. So I'm really not gonna go over each product in like extreme detail, you know, like going over ingredients, stuff like that. What I'm really just going to do is demo the product for you guys, talk about my thoughts on it, whether or not I would buy it again, like repurchase it once it's empty, and then whether or not I recommend it. So really, this is like a best, in my opinion, best and worst of SAIE Beauty. And my opinion of this brand has been sort of like all over the place. When I first got it, like when I first picked up some of the products, I just thought they were extremely average. I really had a hard time seeing like what all the hype was about. But as they've released more products, and more products that I like, my opinion of the brand has changed. So there are some things in here that I absolutely love and I would definitely rebuy. I've already repurchased one thing in particular, but that's because it dried out. But I've had it for a while. I mean, I've had some of this stuff like upwards to a year. And then there are things in here that I definitely wouldn't rebuy, definitely wouldn't recommend, think that nobody should spend their money on because I just don't even understand the product. So that's what we're gonna do today. Best and worst, what's worth your money, what's not, review, demo kind of deal. So the first thing that I've got is the Glowy Super Gel. So they've got two different shades of this. I have the shade Star Glow, which is the more champagne shade. They do have one that is like a more bronze shade. This is one of those products that I guess I don't really understand what it's supposed to be meant for. Is it a primer? Is it a liquid highlighter? Is it an illuminating gel? What is it? I mean, I guess I could pull up the description. I mean, I said I wasn't gonna get into like a too detailed thing about each of the products, but I guess I should give you just sort of like a general overview of what they say this product is supposed to be. So it's illuminated, primed, dewy skin. The glowiest lightweight luminizer. Wear it alone or under or mixed with foundation or tinted SPF as a primer or over any look for a super glowy finish. Okay, so I've used this in a lot of different ways. So when I first got this and the slip tint, I did try to mix them together and I think my ratios just might have been off, but I don't know. Either way, mixing them together for me doesn't work because it creates too dewy of a finish. This on its own is already really like dewy and illuminating, and the slip tint for me on my skin is rather dewy and illuminating, but I also kind of just like naturally have sort of like dewy, like my skin's not oily, but it's like hydrated and dewy. So it like already has that kind of look, and mixing these two together, it was too much. My skin looked awful. This was before they had the setting powder. So I did use other setting powders, but like my skin looked really bad. It looked not good. I've also used this as a highlighter on top of everything else. I don't particularly like it that way either because I don't think it's that illuminating to be a highlighter, at least in the way that I like my products to be a highlighter. So what I've resorted to doing with it, just to use it up, because I do think this is a rather large I don't think it should be this size. They do make a smaller size, which I think is better because I think that's just a more appropriate size for a product like this. I just think this is huge. What is this? I mean, it's an ounce, but it's a lot of product, and I barely, can you see? Like, I've barely gone through any of it, and I use it. I've been using it every day for the last like 2 months as I've been trying all these products. So I take like a quarter of a pump. I don't pump out a full pump, not even half a pump. It's like just the tiniest little like squirt. And then I sort of use it as like an underneath illuminator. So I put it in areas where I would normally put like a highlighty kind of product. So I usually put it on like the tops of my cheeks. I do put it up in my forehead area sort of a little bit, and then I just take the rest, you know, like all the way around. So it gives me sort of like more of an underneath base kind of product. Okay, so I mean, I would not buy this again, just because for my purposes, I don't really think it serves much of any kind of function in what I like in my skincare to be, or not my skincare, my makeup. It really doesn't serve a function for me. I'm using it just to use it, but I would be fine without it because my skin already sort of does what this claims to do. I mean, if you're somebody who's got dull skin, dry skin, maybe you need a little bit more something to get that sort of lit from within glow that this, you know, provides, but my skincare already does that. I use a lot of hydrating products. I use a lot of moisturizing products. My skin already just sort of like naturally gives that off, and I have to cover it up with makeup and sort of mattify it to keep it, you know, under control, because I can look just really, I guess to some people it would be considered greasy, even though my skin's not greasy. It's just dewy. So for me, this product, I don't understand it. It's not one that I would rebuy. It's not one even that I would really recommend, because I mean, I guess if you really like illuminating primers, but for me, I like primers that help more with like pore filling, that are more sort of like thick and silicone-like without using silicone. Other primers that I use mattifying primers to sort of help take down some of that like illuminating. I guess it really just depends on your needs, what you want for your makeup. And I don't need a product like this. It serves no purpose for me, so I'm just using it to use it until it goes bad, because I'm definitely never going to finish this. If you want to try this, get the little mini size. I could definitely see the bronzer one, the one that's sort of like a more bronzy color, being kind of fun for the summer. If you're just like going to the pool and you want to put some, you know, underneath your SPF or something like that, just like for like a natural glow, you want to look sort of like sun-kissed or whatever. But for me, it doesn't really serve that much of a purpose, and it's not something that I would rebuy or really recommend. I guess it just sort of depends on, you know, you. Okay, so that's what I do with that, to sort of like create an underneath highlighter, because spoiler alert, I don't like their highlighters. So I tend to not use them, but we'll get to that. So that's sort of what I use that for. It's like an underneath highlighter. And like I said, I have used it on top as like a highlighter, but I can do that today to sort of show you what that looks like. But it's not much. There's no like glitter in it. There's nothing in it that really is like highlighty. It's just sort of, it's really hard to describe, but it's really like a very lightweight gel that sort of really does nothing for me. Okay, so then we've got the Slip Tint, which is the SPF 35 sunscreen tinted moisturizer. I do wear the shade 3. It is zinc oxide 15%. And then it's got this cool like pump. So I use about 1 3/4 pumps, not a full 2 pumps. And this is what that looks like. So I've got sort of like the beigey shade. I do really like this. Let's see. It's probably my favorite tinted moisturizer product that I've used in a really long time, because it looks really nice on the skin and it provides coverage. SPF coverage, not like foundational coverage. As you can see, there really is no foundation coverage. I mean, it slightly evens the skin tone, and my skin is doing decent enough today that it sort of looks okay. But does it provide like foundation coverage? No, and it's not meant to. So I guess that sort of depends on your needs for that as well. But as a SPF product, I really like it, and I have worn it out to the pool. I've worn just this out, you know, when I want something on my face, but I don't want to wear like a full, like what I'm doing today, like a full thing. I really do enjoy it. I like the color shade on me, works really well. You know, it blends in, looks natural. It does give me this like dew again, like everything that I put on my face, if it's not a powder, ends up giving me just more of this like illuminated dew effect. And I think that's just, that's just me personally, but it does sort of like exacerbate that like dewiness. But I do really enjoy it. And this is a product that I would repurchase because it is a SPF, tinted SPF product that I do really enjoy. And I have preferred over a lot of other ones that I've used. I like the texture of it. I like the way it sits on my skin. It doesn't break me out. That is a big one for me too, is that I've used a lot of tinted SPF products that have broken me out. This one does not break me out. The ingredients gel really well with my skin. I've even slept in it multiple times, had no issues with breaking out. So, I mean, that's a plus in this makeup, is that it does not break me out. It doesn't react to my skin that way. Okay, so because that doesn't provide a ton of coverage, it really just sort of lightly evens out the skin tone. We can get a little closer up so you can see it a little bit. They did release a concealer, which I am thankful for, so that it sort of completes the collection for me. I was using a different concealer before to sort of round this out to make it a full face of makeup for me. So I did pick up this. I did talk about this in that review. I can leave it linked down below. I've got the shade 2. I don't really need to do a ton today because my skin is not looking terrible. So again, I do really like this concealer. It does look really nice on my skin. And just like everything else, it gives me sort of like a hydrated, just like appearance. I need to go back and do my under eyes. I forgot about my under eyes. But here. So if you didn't go and watch that other video, the coverage of it is not as full as like my favorite, which is the Fit Glow Conceal Plus. That's my favorite concealer. And I do use that as foundation sometimes as well. This doesn't provide as much coverage as that, but I don't mind because when I use the SAIE products, I like that it gives me more of like a skin. Like you can see my skin underneath it. It's just, you know, more even skin, if that makes sense. Like that's what I like about this. It's not too makeup-y. It just makes you look more natural and even, at least for me. That's what it does for me. So that is one side of my face. Looks really good, feels really good. It stays on really nicely. Again, not a product that breaks me out. I don't have any issues with it breaking me out. It looks really natural on my skin. It does need to be set, for sure, but I set everything these days. It's just sort of what my skin requires at my age. But it blends really nicely. The color match is, again, good for me. They have a limited shade range, so again, not gonna work for everybody, but there is a match in here. For me, that works decently well. It does sort of like look darker when you put it on, like it's going to be too dark for my skin, but then once you blend it in, it blends in nicer. And my cat is out there crying again. These cats can't be alone. Like I'm not with them 24/7. They have like such the worst separation anxiety. But so yeah. So once we set it, you'll see how much nicer my skin looks, but like my skin, just forget like all the shiny bits. Like it just looks more even. It looks hydrated and healthy. I really like the way my skin looks when I use those two products, and it's real good for quick. You want quick, not fussy, you know, not fussy makeup. You just want something quick that protects your skin. Okay, next we have the Air Set, which is the translucent powder, which you can tell I love already because I'm like, I love this stuff. I use this, I mean, every time that I wear my makeup, but this is a really great setting powder. It's really like light it gives my skin a really nice finish. I'll do one side so you can see one side from the other. And it still leaves like some of that illumination in the skin without my whole skin looking like this, right? So it, you know, it nicely filters it to some degree. I mean, like obviously I don't look poreless, but it nicely sets the makeup so where I'm not looking like a total, like I just like stepped out of, you know, the water park or something and my skin is like glistening with water. It just like nicely sets it, but still leaves some of that like illumination underneath without being slick. So I love this stuff. I think this is one of the best setting powders that I've used in a really long time. I do have the little brush for it and I use it all over my face. I don't know if it's just meant to be used around the eye or whatever, but I do use it all over my face because I find it works well enough. I don't really need like a giant brush. It works fine all over my face. And I do sometimes like double powder. So I'll powder, then I'll put on, you know, like the other parts of my makeup. I'll do the bronzer when I use it. I'll do the blushes, which are again another hydrating product. So it brings back some more of that like dewiness to the skin. So sometimes when I am done, you know, with all of my makeup, I will go over like everything again with powder just to sort of like reset it. So I do have really deep forehead lines, and sometimes depending on how well I set everything and like what else I'm doing, it can settle up in there sometimes. But I mean, that just sort of is, it is what it is. But yeah, see, looks good. I like the way my skin looks when I use that. It's just like a really soft, finely milled powder. It does say it's a radiant loose setting powder, which like I said, it does sort of leave that, it does leave some of the radiance without it looking just like slick and wet. Okay, so I do set, so I missed. So this is not a product that is from SAIE, but I do use the Jane Iredale Palm Mist. At least that's what I'm using right now because it's what's sitting here. So I do that just to sort of set everything. Okay, while that dries, I'm gonna go let my cat in. Okay, did I mention if I would buy the concealer again? I'm not sure yet. I like the concealer, I do like the finish, but do I like it more than my Ficlo concealer? I don't really think anything out there is ever gonna beat that. This is a more affordable option. The Ficlo concealer is in the $40 range. This one is $24, $26. I can't remember exactly how much it was. It was in that range though. So it is a more affordable option and I do like it. But is it my favorite? Would I rebuy it over Ficlo if I had to choose? No, but would I put it in my top 5 concealers? I would say probably. So this one is yes and no. The Air Set is a definite repurchase for me, and it's one that I would recommend because I do really like it as a setting powder. If you're into radiant setting powders, there are setting powders out there that are more mattifying. I happen to really like the radiance ones because they sort of, they mattify a little bit to sort of make it, I mean, it's bringing back some of that dew now because I did set, but like I said, we'll go over it again with this at the end to sort of just like reset it. But it gives like radiance without it being too like wet looking. And I do like the radiance look. I'm just not into that whole like really dewy look. Okay. So the next thing in here is the bronzer. So I've got the Sun Melt Natural Cream Bronzer. You guys watched me use this in a first impressions a few weeks ago and it was a total fail. I did it, I used way too much first of all, and then I dipped the brush in it and tried to do it that way when that was definitely not the right way to do it, at least for me. So I've used it, you know, quite a bit since then. Worked on how I like to use it. I do have the shade Light Bronze. So what I do with this is I just very lightly, hello Jessie, now that she's in here, there is like cat hair flying around everywhere. Oh God. So anyway, the way that I do this is I'll take my finger, dip it around in there, And I just sort of like put it in the spots, that one was a little low, that I would usually put my bronzer, which is usually around the forehead line like this, down the cheekbones, even though I've noticed like my cheekbones are really, I don't know if that's my melasma or what it is, but like I have a lot of shadow in that sort of like area lately. And I don't know if that's a melasma thing or if I just like have really prominent cheekbones right now. And then I do up and down my nose. And then I sort of just use the brush to sort of blend it in other places. Well, I do down the chin a little bit. Not a lot, but just a little. So now, I like this and I like the color on my skin, but I haven't really been wearing a lot of bronzer lately. I've just been using a lot of blush. Can you get down now? Okay. I've been liking more of like a blush look than I have like a bronzer look. So I haven't really been using this all that much. And to be honest, I'm not really that much of a cream bronzer person to begin with, but I do like this one as an option. I do think it's really natural looking. It blends in really nicely without looking too, at least on me, without looking too like muddy. It sort of depends on your shade preference again as well. And then I also have the big brush for that. I forget what this is called, but it's their brush. So I sort of like, it goes all over. It goes on my cheeks, down the nose. So it just sort of warms up the face. I don't mind it, but I'm not, at least right now, I'm just not much of a bronzer person. Because I've been liking the look of just blush so much, but I do like this as an option. And if you're, I mean, I would go out just like, you put on some mascara and I would be fine with just like this too if I just wanted sort of like a natural sort of like sun-kissed look, like I'd, been to the beach yesterday or something and I got a little bit of color on my face. Sort of, even out the skin tone and add a little bit of color. I mean, obviously we'll set it again because everything is cream and liquid gel and all of that in this line. So there's definitely a lot of powdering to be needed, but I like that product again. Would I buy it again? If I was really into bronzer, because I do like the color and I do like it, I do like the texture and I like it on my skin, but at the moment it probably wouldn't be a rebuy, but I'll probably have this for a long time just because there's so much product and you don't need a ton. Like there's like a tiny little indent from like all the times that I've used it, but I mean, I just use so little of it. Again, this could probably be in like half the size and be fine. Okay, the next product is my favorite product. And the one that I did the video on, so it's the Dew blushes. I do have all of them. Go watch that video if you want to see them all swatched. This is a product that I would recommend. I really, really love these. I have not used them with any other foundation though, so I don't actually know how they would play around with other foundations. I don't know how they would work on, like if I'm doing Alima Pure, if I'm using my Alima Pure powder foundation, I don't know how they would work with that. That is something that I do need to try. But for the last couple of months, this is all that I've been using. I haven't used any other makeup. I haven't the only other product that I introduced during my testing was the Fit Glow concealer, just because I had no other base product at the time until they came out with their concealer. But yeah, so I don't know how these play with other brands, with other makeup. I assume with liquid they're probably fine, but with powder I don't know. I have to try that and sort of get back to you on that. But with the SAIE Beauty makeup, it looks beautiful on the skin. I really love them. Would definitely rebuy these, would definitely recommend these if you love, this kind of like blush, if you like that sort of like gel, liquid, cream, really hydrated, sort of like radiant, dewy look to your blush. I really like it. I'm not sure, what shade should I do today? I want to do something pink, I think. I'm gonna go with Chili, which is sort of like a pinky, like a pinkier color. So I do two little dots on each cheek. And then I do go in with a stippling brush just to blend it. And I love these as well. They don't, at least they don't pull up the same makeup underneath. They blend in so fast. Like there it is. There it is, it's all done. I love the colors. I love how natural they look on the skin. I do go over my nose with those, and then I do up here as well. I just love those so much. I love those so much. I'm gonna clean off my brush a little bit and then go back over. Just to sort of make sure it's all blended. But I love that. And I really sort of like that sort of like almost sunburned look, you know? Putting the blush up here and then putting the blush across the nose. I kind of like that look. So that is the Dew Blushes, my favorite product. Probably my favorite product, my favorite product from the whole line. Definitely would recommend, will buy again. Hope they release more colors, 10 out of 10. I just love the way they look. All right, so now before we get to a product that I hate, let's do brows. Okay, so this is the brow butter. I do believe this has been reformulated at least once because I believe I saw some reviews when this was first released about how greasy it was, how it didn't really set. People could just like rub their eyebrows and it just would come right off. This is, even though it's been reformulated, it's a very subtle product, which I don't mind. I'm not really into like the whole bold brow look, and this is a formula that's sort of more of like a fibery formula. And I do like that about this line is that everything it has this like real natural look to it. So it doesn't give me like real bold brows. It just sort of like gently fills in the areas that are kind of sparse, like in the front. And then it just like colors them a little bit. And I do wear the shade medium brown, which matches my hair color just fine. And that's fine for me. Like I don't need bold looking brows. Like, where am I going? I'm going to the grocery store, you know? I don't need bold brows like I'm going to a gala or something. But this is a product that I have repurchased already because I had the old one for so long it did end up drying out, or I finished it. I'm not really sure. I mean, it's a very like tiny tube. I really don't know how long it takes to actually go through the whole thing. And I did use it quite regularly, so I don't really know if it dried out or if I finished it. Either way, I bought it. I would rebuy it again because I do like this, especially if I'm looking for something that's just more natural, you know? Just no fuss. You just run it through. With the brows, I really am like no fuss. I don't like the pencils. I don't like sort of like the pomades really. I'm really much a brow gel person. You just run it through and go. I mean, maybe my opinion of that will change like if I get older, well, as I get older, and like maybe my brows become more sparse, or maybe they just like fall out completely and I have to draw them completely on, but I don't know. At this stage of my life right now, this is the kind of product that I really, really like. And I really like this one. It looks real natural. I don't have an issue with it like melting off my face. It sets really well. Though I don't do a lot of rubbing at my face, so I guess I really don't know. But I never have any issues with it like flaking or anything like that. So, I mean, it works for me. I bought it, I rebought it because I did like it enough to rebuy it again. Even though I needed it for like this video, but I did like it. It's a product I'll continue to use. And that is one that I would recommend. Okay, so then this one is sort of mid for me. It's one of those, like, I have a love-hate relationship with it because I love the way that it looks on my lashes. This is the Mascara 101. I love the way that it looks on my lashes. It gives me these just like nice, like lengthened lashes that are separated nicely. They don't look too clumpy. They look really nice, but it flakes on me. And I did buy another one of these. So this is my second tube of the mascara because I wondered if it was because the first one had dried out because I had had it for a while. So I wondered if that maybe was dry and that's why it was flaking on me. So I did buy another one, but this one flakes on me as well. And I don't mind so much because I'm at home, but if I'm gonna put this on and then be out all day, I'm gonna be worrying about, is it coming down my face? Is it flaking everywhere? Do I have like little mascara chunks all over my face? So I love it, but it's not one that I think that I can use like if I'm going out, because again, I'm gonna be worried about little mascara chunks, you know, raining all down my face, and who wants that when you're out, you know, doing whatever it is that you do. But here's what the brush looks like. So it's got this little like tip at the end. If you can sort of see that, it's sort of got this like spiky tip at the end. And I like to use that just to go. So once I put it on, that helps to like separate and lengthen the lashes just a little bit more. So I just sort of take that and run it through like that. So that is what I do one coat. I'm not a huge like multiple coats of mascara kind of person. I like them to look very natural, just like barely lengthened, just like defined a little bit more. I really don't like the whole clumpy, spidery lash looking thing. This is what I like. And I do really like the way that this one looks. I like the brush on it. It's a little silicone brush. I just wish it didn't flake on me, because if it didn't flake, it would be perfect. Because all the other things about it, I love. But again, when I'm at home, I really don't mind. If I'm going out for like a quick thing, not a big deal. But if I'm gonna be out all day and not looking in a mirror, not checking my face, because I don't do that. When I go out, I'm out. Like, I don't pull a mirror up at all when I go out. Like, if I'm out all day, I don't look at my face all day. I have no idea what I look like until I get home. And like, if I've got stuff running down my face, I've got flakes everywhere, I'm just like, I mean, what am I gonna do? I'm just not one of those people that once I put makeup on my face, I'm like constantly checking it. You know, any of that. So that is the mascara. I really like it. I mean, I do get a good few hours out of it before it does start to flake on me. So I mean, it's not terrible, but again, like if I'm out all day, not checking my face, I mean, really, I'm not worrying about it, but I'm also not around people that are gonna care. You know, if I'm like out with my family and my makeup is like flaking or whatever, my family's not gonna be like, ugh, your makeup is coming down your face. Like, I mean, nobody's gonna care really. And I don't really care. Okay. So love-hate relationship with the mascara. Would rebuy, wouldn't rebuy? God, I don't know. I don't know. I'm undecided on that one right now. But I love the way it looks, but the whole flaky thing, I don't know. All right, so here's a product that I hate. I don't like this product at all. I don't understand why it exists. I don't understand that there might be people out there who like this. This is the Dew Bomb. It's the Bouncy Marshmallow Highlighter. I have all three colors because that's what I do. I buy all the things. I like the color. I like the shades of a couple of these, but I hate the formula. I don't understand it. So it's supposed to be a highlighter. And first of all, so it comes in these little tubes. It is like, I don't like the application of this, because you have to like dispense it on the back of your hand to get it out. I'm gonna show you all three shades. That was the shade Bronze Nectar. And at first, when I first got this product, I did not understand this product either. I didn't know, oh, the tube has changed too. This one is like a metal tube, and these two have like a plastic tube. I didn't understand this product either, so I got Bronze Nectar first, and I was like, is this supposed to be a bronzer? Because this was before the bronzer came out. I was like, is this a bronzer or a highlighter? So I didn't know where I was supposed to put it. And this one I haven't even opened. This is SAIE Lilac, because I hated the formula of these so much, I never even opened it. Okay, so we have Bronze Nectar, Rosy Gold, which is my favorite shade of the three. I do really like that shade, and then SAIE Lilac. So let's, now my cat wants to get out. She cannot decide what she wants. So those are the three shades. Rosy Gold is my favorite. Bronze Nectar would probably come in third. And then I don't wear lilac highlighter, so I don't really know what I was thinking there. But what I really dislike about these is the formula specifically, because they like never dry down. They're just this like creamy, almost like lip gloss kind of like formula. And so when you put it on your face, so I'm gonna use Rosy Gold because that is the shade that I like. It feels like I have lip gloss on my face because this never sets. It never dries down, so it always feels like I have sticky lip gloss on my face. Plus, does it really do much? I mean, I like the shade of it, but does it really do much? No. I mean, like compared to this side of my face, I mean, like in the mirror up close, you can kind of see a difference, but like in the viewfinder, not really. Because I mean, everything just looks sort of like radiant right now. I don't like this product. I don't think it's not for me. I like the shade of Rosy Gold. I wish it was a powder, or even like this, if they sort of like made these, like made their highlighter into sort of like this kind of formula where it's like a water-based gel kind of thing. I don't like this formula. It's just too, it just feels like lip gloss on my face, and I don't like that feeling. It's too subtle, really. I wouldn't buy these again. I wouldn't recommend them. Okay, so then I was gonna show you what this looks like as used as like a highlighter. So I'm just taking like a very like little drop of it. I might even take like some of that off and do a little bit less. This I would prefer using as a highlighter because it does dry down. So unlike the Dew Balm, it doesn't leave like a sticky feeling on the skin because it eventually, the water in it evaporates or whatever. So that is like a much prettier, so like, which I guess it's sort of like this in a way because it's like water-based gel-like. This just performs more like an actual highlighter than their highlighter does. But again, it's still very subtle. Did it do much? I don't know. But it feels better than this side of my face, which now feels like it just has like lip gloss on it, where this is already dried. So I don't know, take that as you will. I would not buy this as an actual highlighter though. So again, you can use it as that kind of product. You can use it as like a multiple use product, but would I buy this just as a highlighter? No. So I guess when I said if they did this as a highlighter, like this kind of formula, I still wouldn't buy it. I don't find it necessary. I mean, there's enough other stuff out there that I like that I don't really like it that much. And I especially hate this. Okay, so I'm gonna powder again, just gently all over the rest of the face, just to sort of take down some more of that shine. And so that it sets more. Here we go. So I always do that. After I'm done with all the complexion products, I just repowder. And I just like the way that it looks. Okay, last product. We've got the SAIE Really Great Gloss. I'm like, you know you're getting old when you have to like do that thing that your mom used to do when you were young and you were like, how can you not see what that looks like? But now you find yourself doing that. You have to like get it in the right position. Even if you're wearing corrective lenses, you're still just like, what does that say? Oh God, I'm so old. Okay, so I have two shades. I've got Easy, which is sort of this like pale pink color. And then I have Fresh, which is one of the shades of lip gloss that I like. It's sort of like this nude with kind of like a sparkly kind of thing going on. I'm gonna use this one because I don't like this shade at all. Not even sure why I bought it because I don't wear shades like this. This sort of like baby pink, not my thing, this like creamy baby pink color. but this is fresh. And again, this is not a formula that compares to my favorite lip gloss formula of all time, which is again the Fit Glow lip serum formula. That just, it beats every other lip gloss formula out there. Nothing, really nothing compares to it. And I just don't, I have a hard time putting other lip gloss on, knowing that that one is out there not being used. And I'm like, why am I putting this subpar product on my face when I could be putting this other thing on my face? But it's to review it, let you know if you should buy it. I will not be repurchasing these. There are like 3 lip gloss formulas that I like that I would repurchase that aren't Fit Glow. This is not one of them. I think there are like 5 shades of this. None of the other shades appeal to me. This does have like a flat doe foot, which is kind of nice. I do like the flatness of it because it's really easy to apply. And I do like the shade of this one. What did I say it was again? Fresh. I do like the shade of it, but the, you know, the formula of it isn't as cushiony as I like. It dissipates really quickly. I mean, it's nice, but it's not stellar. It's not real memorable. It's not when I'm looking, when I've got real chapped lips, I'm not going, oh, where's my SAIE lip gloss? I'm going, where is my Fit Glow lip serum? Because I know that that's going to make my lips feel great. This really doesn't do anything to my lips. Like it doesn't condition it the way that like the Fit Glow one does. This gives me like a nice gloss, but really that's it. There's really nothing past the surface level of the gloss, right? So it's really just not, the formula of it is, it's gloss, you know, where Fit Glow is sort of like a 2-in-1 product. It's like a lip conditioning product that improves your lips, and it's also a gloss that gives your lips a tint. This is just gloss for me. It really doesn't improve my lips at all. It doesn't make them feel any kind of way. It doesn't make them better. It doesn't make them worse. But yeah, that is everything. That's everything. So what would I rebuy? I would rebuy the dew blushes. I would rebuy the brow butter. My cat is so annoying. She wants back in again. It's like in or out, pick one. I would rebuy the slip tint, and I would rebuy the air set for sure. The concealer is, yes, maybe. It's a maybe. I do like it, but I guess if I had to put a 5th one in there, it would be the concealer, because I do really like it. I think it's a good formula. If you're looking for a more affordable option, but it also has a very limited shade range. It's not like the most full coverage, even though for what purposes I needed it for today, it did do a good job, right? My skin's evened out. It looks nice. It looks healthy. I mean, overall, I do like the products, but I did have to play with them a lot. If I had done a lot of these as a first impression, I would not have liked them as much, and I would not have, I mean, in the beginning, I was like, what the hell is the hype all about with this brand? Like, I didn't understand it. I didn't think the products were good. I was like, why do people like these things? But this is why I like to try things for a very long period of time to make sure that I really get a good opinion of the products, and I'm not just sort of like trying them once, telling you if I like them or not, and then just like forgetting about them, because a lot of people do review things like that where they'll do a first impression and then you'll never hear them talk about it again. This is why I hardly ever do reviews, because I take so long to review things. By the time anybody cares, I'm like, oh, hey, late to the party. This stuff has been reviewed like a year ago, but here's my opinions on it if you wanted it, you know, a year later. But I do like most of the products. There are some misses in here for me. The lip gloss is a miss for me just because it's not a special formula. It's lip gloss. The highlighters are a big miss for me. I don't understand why that product exists. It feels like lip gloss on the face, and I don't really think it does enough to, I don't really think it does anything. The mascara is love-hate for me because I do love the way that it looks on my lashes, but it does flake on me. And maybe that depends on the person. Like some mascaras that smudge on other people don't smudge on me, so it might really just depend on, you know, you. The Glowy Super Gel is another product I would say you can probably skip. I really don't think it's anything. I mean, really, I really don't think that it's a necessary product unless you're somebody who needs something really illuminating. I mean, maybe you are, but I have enough, like my skincare does that already. That's sort of really like a redundant product at this point. And then the last one is the bronzer, which I, again, would take it or leave it. I'm not really into bronzer at the moment, but I do like the way that it looks on my skin and the way that it works with my skin. The color, I mean, like I do like my face today, which I can't say that every day, but today it's not so bad. Okay, so those are my thoughts and opinions on the SAIE Beauty, everything from SAIE Beauty. Some of it's great, some of it's not so great. So yeah, I hope that this was helpful to somebody if you've been wanting a comprehensive look at everything from SAIE Beauty and my thoughts on it. Here you go. I hope it was helpful. Let me know if you've tried anything from this line, what your thoughts are on any of it are. Do you have different thoughts than I have? Maybe you love something that I hate. But yeah, I hope that you guys enjoyed this. I hope that it was helpful, and I will see you guys in my next one.